Hello, YouTube guitar people. Once in a while, I can use this channel to show you something that's not guitar related, but something I use and something that's very important for me. For example, like the tri-orbit stand systems that are holding all the cameras, because I'm passionate about it. So let's talk about a tool that's no fun to buy if you have a computer that doesn't have enough ins and outs. It's no fun to buy because it just doesn't make a sound. It's for us guitar players, it's not that much fun. And it actually also doesn't add any new toy to your arsenal. It just adds convenience and more functionality to the computer that you already have. And I'm talking about a dock. Now, if you have one of those new Macs that only has the USB-C Thunderbolt plugs and nothing else, you need a dock. And you know, having dongles or those little adapters. Let's get one to HDMI. Let's get one to, what's that called? Mini display port. Let's get more USB ports. Hey, on those new Macs, on the Mac Pro, MacBook Pros, on the laptops, you don't have any regular USB ports. So you definitely, if you want to use anything with it, need one, unless you have USB-C. Now, there are several companies. If you go to Amazon or your local computer, or your local, not your local, or your computer online store, there are quite a few brands, and they all kind of really look the same, and they all kind of really have the same ins and outs or similar ones. And it's very difficult from the product descriptions to discern which one's good for you, which is why for my older Mac, now I have an iMac Pro, I had an iMac something, the one before that, I bought this CalDigit thing. Cost me over $200. This is Thunderbolt 3. They're usually between $200 and $300, all of them. And, well, it looked like it had the right ins and outs. It had USB, USB-C. It had networking, which I need for the switcher, USB, audio in out, Thunderbolt, DisplayPort, and that's for power. Yeah, well, I bought this, I installed it, and it only gave me trouble. Every time you touched it, the audio interfaces went click, 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 and reset. Every time you touched it, the upper screen that I have, if Leslie goes to one of the cameras that can show the screens, this upper screen, which is connected to the dock, would turn off just randomly. And once it did that, I really had to restart the computer. My audio recording was breaking. It just was annoying. But I didn't want to drop the money on yet again another one where I didn't know, is it good or not? That's where OWC comes in. Otherworld computing. I think that's what it's called, OWC. And I met those nice guys at the NAMM show. There's an event before that called the Artist Endorse Expo, and they're represented by my friend Randy Fuchs. So we started talking, and they're like, well, let's check out one of ours. And so I did. And they sent me the Thunderbolt 3 Dock, which is what they're calling. You might have seen my NAMM video from the booth where I'm realizing that they have an even newer version with a micro SD card as well. Now, that's installed now, and guess what? Anytime you touch it, nothing happens. It just works. The damn thing just works. So that's really all I want to show you. I have an iMac Pro, which has 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports. So expanding it in that way for Thunderbolt wasn't ultra necessary, but it wasn't necessary for the iMac before. But it still helps me in many ways. And I'm going to show you how I have it set up. So right here, it's sitting right under my Mac. But there's an SD card in it, which I had some videos on. Headphone out right there, which I could just wire into my system to record whatever I'm having on the Mac. USB and USB-C, which right now is having an external hard drive on it. And then there's a micro SD card slot, which can be very handy if you don't need a micro SD adapter, which I just never trust these things. The great thing about the SD card slot is that it actually is using the full Thunderbolt 3 speed, and it's doing the SDHC or SDC, SDH, SD, the 2 card, the one that have these double lines of contacts, which are the new fast cards, which are the SDXC2. So it supports those. And what I previously used for getting data of SD cards, this tower right here that I have from Lexar, which is connected with Thunderbolt 2. So I could have Thunderbolt 2 speed for SD card reading, which made a huge difference in data transfer for all my videos. And that tower cost $280 plus each individual module with SD cards. It seems I don't need it anymore because the Thunderbolt 3 dock from OWC has that speed for transferring data. But it obviously has much more. Those are only convenient things on the front panel. I'm going to go and show you what's on the back panel. So you have 4 USB ports. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right next to it is a SPDIF output, so digital audio output. There's Ethernet. There's the Thunderbolt port to connect it to the computer, but it channels through, so there's another Thunderbolt out which you can use. And display port, and this is power. Now, as you can see, I can touch the damn thing. I can move it around. Nothing's turning off. The connections are stable. I have no idea what the problem with the other box was, but it's literally useless. And it's a lot of money for a useless box. Now, I love the dependability of this thing. I love the looks because it really matches the iMac beautifully. And it just freaking works. The only thing I don't like on these boxes is the power supply, which is kind of a laptop size big ass power supply. They can't be bus powered because they need too much power. But this thing has 5 USB 3 ports, USB-C, dual SD card slots, big and small, everything you really want on a laptop. And even on my iMac Pro, it really helps to have everything here running because you could see I have a dongle on there. I think I have 3 different kind of dongles from different brands. I'm running 28 different hard drives on USB hubs. This computer has to handle a lot of periphery. Is that what it's called? 2 audio interfaces on Thunderbolt. On Thunderbolt alone, I got 2 audio interfaces, a hard drive dock, the second screen, which is running on the thing. So, I mean, yeah. How do you know which dock to buy? Watch a video like this, have someone tell you, wait, this one works, and it works. It's dependable. Computer sees it every single time. So that's my dock of choice, the OWC Thunderbolt 3 dock. OWC has a lot of cool things like hard drive cases, ultra, hyper, mega expensive, fast hard drives for video applications. They have a similar dock like this in USB 3, which is, of course, cheaper than Thunderbolt. So they have a lot of really cool solutions for those computers of today that don't have a lot of ins and outs. So check out OWC. I want to thank OWC for sending this over and letting me use it. Thank you so much, guys. So this has not been a paid video, but it's going to be a sponsored video because I got a dock for making this video. So thanks for that. Thanks for watching. I'm going to link below to OWC and animals at the end.